How are you this great Monday morning? It is 12/12/22, and I'm glad to be joining you today. I'm glad you're here. If this is your first time here, know that my name is Crystal Evans Hurst, and if you found yourself here either by accident or if maybe you are new here, because I know there have been quite a few people that have joined the flock. It's terrible. Because of a video that lots of people have been sharing. I think most of you here probably have seen that writing video at this point, but I know that there are quite a few people who are new, so I just wanted to say hi. Oh, y'all, I'm not together. I got to get my little tripod over there to go live with Instagram too, because I still don't have the Instagram API that lets you go live from my streaming software. So I'm going to get up and get that in just a sec. But I just wanted to say good morning. I'd love for you to drop in the comments what you're drinking and where you're at. What you're drinking and where you're at. So you can throw in that chamomile tea. You can also tell me you're in Seattle. Let's go ahead and see who's here and what you're drinking. Okay? All right, and then I'm going to go get my tripod over here because this is how we do it. One sec. So this is the manual way to do it. You take a tripod. Oh my goodness. This is my whole life. Let me go get my little phone clip. So, the reason why I'm a little discombobulated this morning is because last night, the girls in the inner circle and I, we made pumpkin bread together. So I had to move all of my equipment over to my house so we could film. And I had a camera on me and I had a camera on the cooking. It's like a straight up cooking show for sure. We were on long enough to make our pumpkin bread, to cook it, and to taste it, while also sharing some encouragement for the holiday season. This is how we do it. So here we go. I got to put my little... So let me see where you're at. Okay, Stacy says I'm in Oklahoma City at work drinking water. Cynthia Duncan says, I am drinking coconut, if I can click you, coconut flavored coffee. Let me move this down here. I'm in Springfield, Missouri. Kia Wesley says dandelion tea in San Antonio. I had some dandelion tea this morning. Tanya Wyatt, morning. Peppermint tea in Mustang, Oklahoma. Amazing. Marcelina Bain says I'm at work drinking a cup of coffee. St. Vincent. Come on, St. Vincent. Listen, we got the whole situation here. Ayana King says, I'm on my morning walk through downtown Philly, sipping ginger peach tea, headed to Trader Joe's. While you're at Trader Joe's, get some of their hibiscus tea. It's amazing. Excuse the background noise. I'm heating up my water. Hi. Crystal, God bless. I will be drinking my decaf coffee. Come on, Bronx. Okay. Warm lemon water. You better make your body alkaline, child. Okay. Glad you're here. First live in New Jersey, coffee. In Baltimore, Angela Scott, water and coffee. Listen, that's what I try to do. You know, I go out for dinner. I'll eat, ask for a glass of water, no ice with lemon, so that I can cleanse everything out before I add the coffee in, which then sucks everything dry. It's a whole balancing act. I see you, Amanda, in Boise, Idaho, drinking coffee. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Now, this is the fun part. If you are a warm drinker, okay? I see you with the elderberry green tea. Hi, Veronica Johnson, Coke Zero in Baltimore. We have found that there is a whole host of things that you can put in your coffee that has health benefits. Okay, if you are a person who hides your health in your coffee, what do you put in it? I know we're going to have some people tell us about their ashwagandha. I know that. But I believe that, good morning, Shauna. I believe that most of the goodness when we have our lives in the inner circle is what's happening in that chat. So I'll go ahead and bring a little bit of that here today. What are you hiding in your coffee? What do you put in your coffee that you tell yourself is going to help you get better? Are you a collagen person? There you go. Here we go. Here's where it comes alive. Collagen, Coffee Hook TV. Yep, I see lots of collagens. Collagen and Benefiber, Delissa Richardson says. MCT oil, D. Malloy. Protein shake for creamer. Oh, now that's an idea. I don't think I've ever heard that one before. But why do I feel like I need to try that? That feels amazing. Okay. All right. Protein shake, nutmeg, cinnamon, sea salt, dash. Oh, honey, you do the most in there, don't you? All right. Let me put my hind legs up. All this for Instagram. My Instagram babies. It works. Listen, however you can get it in there, right? All right. I think we'll last. Let me go get my Instagram fam. Okay, Truvia Sugar. Oh, here's one. Mushroom Functional Coffee by Laird's. What is this? What is mushroom functional coffee? Miss Brenda, coffee smells so good, but it tastes like burning rubber. I know. It's like alcohol, right? It's like it doesn't taste good. It doesn't, you know? And then people spend their whole lives drinking it, ruining their bodies if they drink too much. But at first, it was nasty. And then we learned to accommodate the taste. That's what I think what happens with coffee. It's like the adult drink, you know? You're supposed to drink it, and so people do drink it. And then really, kids drink it. And they're like, this is gross. Why are you drinking this? Let's see. Rochelle Jones says, Trader Joe's stevia. How is Trader Joe's stevia different than everybody else's? Ripple vegan, half and half. All right, I'm going live here on Instagram. There we go. Oh, it's dirty. Oh, here we go. Okay, that's better. There we go. All right. All right. I'm catching up. French vanilla dark roast. I'm drinking Dandy Blend, basically a dandelion coffee. Who knew there's a dandelion coffee? What? Okay. You're not late. You're here. We're just coming on in the room, T. Taylor. Good morning, everybody. Coffee, lion's mane, mushrooms, and collagen. Good morning, Instagram fam. We are here talking about what we're drinking this morning. So you can go ahead and drop the same. You can go ahead and drop the same. All right. Let me see what's happening in the world. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Okay. All right. All right, y'all. Let me ask you a question. What is the thing that's happening in the world that you are aware of? Maybe it's in your local news or it's in your national news. What is lighting up your timeline this morning? If you're a Good Morning America watcher, or maybe you're a CNNer, or maybe you are a Skim, you get your news from the Daily Skim. That tells you what's important. If you don't know about the Skim, it's great. It's just a way to keep up with the news. They give it to you in variation of length so you can decide what you can actually keep up with. Let me tell you what's in my news feed today. Oh my goodness. This is not really a news feed situation. It is my feed situation. So the Target near me has been undergoing renovation. I feel like they went on and got some of those PPP loans and they stayed alive, and we still shop there with the drive up situation. And now they have all this extra money to do all this renovation. So I walked in my Target and it is like becoming more and more of a department store. Now, from what I hear, Target, where it is based, let's see, Target based corporate headquarters. I'm Googling as I talk to you. Okay, Minneapolis. What I've heard is that in Minneapolis, this is how Targets are. I don't know if anybody can confirm that or deny that, but what I've heard is that this is how Targets are. That we are just late on the come up because, because we're in Dallas, which I don't know why that would make us late. I'm turning on Do Not Disturb on my phone, y'all. Because we do everything bigger in Dallas and Texas, right? But yes, they have been transforming the whole situation. Now, the problem is the makeup section, the personal care section is larger. The Target was always brighter than Walmart and cleaner than Walmart and more eye appealing to the eye than Walmart. It's even brighter. It's like they brought more lights in. They now have like track lighting. It's a whole thing. So I'm walking in the mall and I just feel like shopping department store vibes. Like I walk in and I just feel like I'm supposed to shop. I didn't need to feel that in addition at Target. Okay. I didn't need any more. You should shop here at Target. I already go into Target for one thing and come out with 23 because Target tells you what you need when you go in there. Am I correct? You go in there and you think, I'm going to go get some cinnamon bread. I'm going to get some raisin toast. And what happens? You come out with workout gear. You come out with candles. You buy office supplies. You may even walk out with an iPad. You just walk in there and you just come out with whatever Target tells you need. So my Target, I went in there, which, going in stores right now is a whole thing. It's like I haven't been in stores like this. I went in the mall the other day looking for some shoes. I walked into Nordstrom's. I walked straight to the shoe section and the lady said, when do you need a shoe? I said, tonight. But it was so festive, The music was playing. They had the man on the baby grand piano and, all the good looks and the good smells. It was amazing. But I was just sitting here going, they're spending so much money on making this more of a place that you want to shop. So much. Yeah, Rose says, I go in for a little lippy and I come out with 2 outfits and house stuff every single time. So I'm looking at your news. Okay, national news. We've got people leaving the Dems, my real life, Christmas tree photos, children lighting Advent candles, recommendations for Christmas activities, movies, and recipes. Yeah. Melanie on Instagram says, I still hate not knowing where everything is in Target. I'm with you. I am with you. Deborah Pierce said, I went into Target for a detergent. I came out with a puzzle. Psalm 150. If you do the research, we are the targets. That's exactly my point. We are the targets for Bullseye. We walk into the store and we are the target. Their whole marketing plan is crazy. So, here's the thing, you can learn a lot by what they're doing. You can make people do what you want if it's well lit, if it's organized, if it feels happy. You can make those marketing tactics work for you in your home. Turn on the lights. Organize things. Make people feel that you're celebrating them. Maybe they'll do what you want them to do. Okay, news. I'm looking at the news. Weather is news. I'm looking back here. Any other news? What's happening in your world? Yep, everybody, the news is Target. The Ulta section. You got it, Letitia. In Target. I see a lot of y'all telling me that you don't watch the news anymore because it's too much. It's team too much. I'm with you. I watch the news with my children. Come on with the Manuka honey. Y'all don't know about Manuka honey, do you? Yeah. Oh, Delisa, carjackings and car shootings. Brenda says, I don't watch news before 9 a.m. I want to stay in a good headspace. I want to stay in a good mood for a little bit longer. Patti LaBelle concert, bomb threat. Vanessa said, I put you onto the skim. I love it. Okay. Zenaida is listening to Moody Radio in Chicago. Very good. The horrible border crisis. Okay. Yeah. We have to watch our peace, protect our peace. And while you do want to know what's going on in the world, I saw all the little soccer emojis. Brittany Griner is home. That's a little old news, but if you didn't know, she's home. Glad she got to come home. The runoff election in Georgia is now over. That's done. All the memes can stop. Let's see here. One of the best known American soccer journalists died in Qatar, Grant Wall. He just collapsed young. Here's the thing. I think that one of the benefits that we have of having news at our fingertips, I see you in South Africa. We are dealing with electricity issues. They're getting their electricity switched off. Is it gives you an ability to be sensitive to what's happening in the world, to be able to pay attention to where people might need love and support, the people that you know that might be affected. It also allows you, create space for you to remember to be grateful about what's not happening to you. Okay? You don't have to, you can help where you can and then be grateful where you can as well. The Netflix documentary with Harry and Meghan. I have a friend who literally is turning back on her Netflix so she can watch that. Can I just say this? Now, y'all know I don't like to be too messy. Really, most of the time I save the high foolery for the inner circle simply because it gets edited out. But let me say something right here that probably should be edited out. Don't do it, Crystal. Don't do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Yes, grateful to have a heater. It puts things in perspective. Let me tell you what's happening that you need to know. Listen, I know that everybody has their opinions about Harry and Meghan. Really, it's more Meghan than Harry. Let's just call that like it is, okay? Let's just call the kettle what it is. We don't really have an issue with Harry. We all feel bad for Harry. He lost his mother when he was young. He's had a tumultuous upbringing. You know, the royalty, the cameras, the lights, all that is tough. We have sadness in our hearts for Harry because Harry, has just had a challenging situation. Let me tell you who some of us feel sorry for and some of us don't. Okay? Oh, that Meghan. Mary Bodley says, former Twitter owner working with government to censor conservatives and how the major networks won't carry the news about it. Okay, here come the opinions of Meghan and Harry. They are playing games. Somebody said, no one likes Meghan? Tiffany Johnson. Hey, Tiff, the way I just hollered, don't do it, Crystal, don't do it. I'm about to do it. Y'all, here's what we know. Here's what we know. There is a mixed bag when it comes to Meghan. I'm not going to say we don't like her. I'm not going to say that we feel sorry for her. What I am going to tell you is there is holistically a mixed bag. Because there are those people who are like that poor Meghan got in that lily white palace and they totally lambasted her, blindsided her with the racism, then her poor children, her babies, and then they shouldn't be in there and the whole castle and all the things. And then there are people who say, let me tell you what that heifer went in there and did. She went in there, knew she was supposed to be a princess, knew she was supposed to be at Harry's side, and she has caused disruption in that whole royal family, has ripped that boy away from his people, came over here, and is doing what she knew to do before she went over there, which is make money. Now listen, regardless of what side of the fence you're on, and I'm not telling you what side of the fence I'm on, regardless of what side of the fence you're on, here's what I can tell you for sure. Here's what we can all agree on, okay? Here's what we can all agree on. And then I'm going to cut this out. Okay? Listen, hold on, y'all. Let me get my situation right. And I can only be on here till 7:45 because y'all know what's going to happen. We're going to disappear and continue the foolery. So for those of y'all who are new, because I know there's always people new, this is what we do every week in the inner circle. We get on live. I run my mouth. I know. Danielle says, Crystal, you have taken me out this here morning. Shauna on Instagram said Harry was looking for any reason he could have to jump ship with his family. Somebody on Instagram said, I really think the best way forward is not to give the media fuel. Silence may have been best for them. Let me tell you what happens if you don't give the media fuel, though. Let me tell you what happens. ASMR, here we go. Do you want to know what happens? Oh, I don't have a spoon. No spoon, no coffee stirrer. Gonna have to use a pen. This is what happens. You ready? You ready here? Here it go. You don't get paid. You can't stay quiet and get paid. You can't. All right, y'all. Let me talk some more about that. Let me talk some more about that. Because that may be where I'm going this morning. It might be when I have something serious to say. Listen, the chat is lighting all the way up because everybody has an opinion. Even if it doesn't matter if you like them or not. Everybody has an opinion. Listen, everybody has an opinion. Okay, listen, don't y'all start coming for each other in the chat. Don't let me stir up strife and dissent in the chat this morning. But what I do know, y'all, is if you don't feed the beast don't eat. And if the beast don't eat, the beast don't pay. That's what I'm saying. What I do know is, here it comes. Here's what I do know. This is what I do know for sure. Those two, and we'll see if it's really those two of them or if it's one egging it on and the other one just goes along. I know that there are some men on here, but let me just say this. Let me just break away and say this right quick. Girls, we underestimate our influence. We underestimate the ability we have to convince our husbands, our boyfriends, our significant others what they ought to do with their lives and their time. I'm just saying, if you need to know, you can read the Bible and read about Delilah and Samson. I'm just telling you, we girls, we have a lot of power and we don't use it to our advantage in the best way. You need to wake up and smell the coffee. Stop thinking that, stop chasing people. This is my hair. It's not doing what it's supposed to do this morning, but at least it's on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That pillow talk is powerful. You're right, Monique. Hey girl. I think I saw you in church yesterday. All right. So here's the deal. First of all, I want you to share this because in about 3 minutes, I'm going to say something meaningful because I got to hurry up and say something meaningful before I shut it down. Here's the other thing that you need to know. The inner circle, which is always open. You should get in it now. Let me tell you why you should get in it now. Because we are going to start a new 90 day in January. Okay. That's number one. When we start a new 90 day, it is a great opportunity for you to knock out your 2023 goals in community, not by yourself, to be encouraged and to move the needle in your life. I used to think that I would tell people about this and that I hope this is meaningful, blah, 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 blah. Nope, nope, nope. I am absolutely doggone convinced right now. Convinced, do you hear me? That when you focus on your goals, it's not that we don't know what we're supposed to do. We need to decide to do it and then have a voice from the clouds reminding us to do it and community that supports us in it. Somebody from the Inner Circle that's on Instagram, drop the link for me. It's crystalevanshurst.com/inner circle. And the reason why it's a good time for you to get in is because not only will we be dealing with just whatever goals you have for 2023, and because I've now seen what community can do, and people have told me, there are people who say, oh, I'm never leaving the Inner Circle because things are changing in my life because I'm here. And I'm thinking, I'm just going to share, I'm just going to encourage. But nope, now I'm like, you know what? If you focus on what you intend to do, if you focus on it and turn the light on, it will happen. It will grow. It's about where you put your time, attention, and energy. And most of us just need a construct, and we need support, and we need community for whatever it is that we want to focus on. I'm convinced. So it's crystalevanshurst.com/inner circle. The other reason is we just had great time last night baking together. That was fun. We're also experiencing we're holding space for each other in grief this holiday season. And those teachings will only be in the Inner Circle through the end of the month. So if you want them, come on in and get them now. Yes, Letha says, I've got my planner. I've got my planner ready. Yay, yay, yay. I'm not doing the things I ought to be doing in my life. Like I should have like lower thirds and all these kinds of things. So, that's the first thing is come on in the Inner Circle. Here's the second reason why you want to be in the Inner Circle. You got to spell my name right though. Crystal, ChrystAL, Evans Hurst, HURST. Okay. Here's the second reason is because January the 6th and the 7th, I'm hosting an event. The emails are going out today. It is Friday night and Saturday. If you can come to Dallas or if you're in the Dallas area, really this is something for me to do in the Dallas area. But in this post-COVID world, I'll turn the lights on for streaming. So in person, you can come. It is small. It is intimate. I do think we'll run out of space. So you should get your ticket Inner Circle while you can, because I'm about to turn the lights on for everybody else today. And then also, if you want to join us online, that's fine. The online ticket is for your live seat. Your in-person ticket is for your live seat. The only people that get the replay are the people who are in the Inner Circle long term. Okay? So if you want to see it, join it, be a part of it. It'll be me, special guests, special music, all the things. And then for those who want to come early, you can, because I'll be doing a walkthrough of goal setting for people who are in person or who are online who want to dedicate the time for that. So the most important thing for you to do, if you've been thinking about getting in the circle, is to get in it, because there are things that are coming that will only be for the Inner Circle, and I don't want you to miss it. I'm going live every week in December because I want to give my team a break. They're not editing. They're not creating a bunch of graphics. They're not doing all the things. But I also wanted to make sure you knew, because somebody inevitably will say, oh, I wish I would have known. Okay, now I'm telling you. Okay. So the link is Crystal, ChrystAL, Evans Hurst, HURST.com. There we go. /Inner Circle. You got to put the Evans in there. Y'all are struggling with it. And I would type it if I could, but I can't. Okay. Now, also at this event, if you are in person, there is a VIP, and the VIP meet and greet is only for members of the Inner Circle. So if you're in the Inner Circle, you don't have to pay extra for it. You just show up to it, and an hour and a half or so before we start the event in the evening, we'll have a special meet and greet for our members. Okay, members only. So what I try to do is give everyone else on YouTube and on the podcast an overflow of what I give the Inner Circle. So I give things, my best to the Inner Circle, and I want you to be thankful for the Inner Circle if you're not in it, because it's because the Inner Circle exists that all the other things do too. The Inner Circle pays the bills, okay? And because of that, we always want to make sure we honor them with the best of what we have to enjoy. So you are invited to join the Inner Circle, to decide to enter 2023, to make the investment in you, to come on in the room If you choose to join monthly, that's great. If you choose to join annually, we give you planners. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should check that out. The planner's amazing. If I can find, I have no graphics. I just need to get my life together. One of these days, I'm going to get my life together. Let's see. I'm going to find a graphic somewhere here. Anyway, the planner is a tool that I created for people who said, Crystal, how do you do that? How do you do that? I was like, here's my system. And then I realized it's a system that works for other people. So basically we created a whole planner. I'm trying to see if I have a picture for it. I don't know if I do. But you can find that out by going to thesistercircle.com/planner. Okay? Because once we're out, we're trying to decide now if we're restocking. And it may be mid-year before you can get more. All right, y'all. How do you support without joining the inner circle? On the bottom of my email every week, there's a little link for you if you want to do that. So here's the most important thing. You ready? Ready to hear it? Here it goes. And then I'm going to tell you about my Harry and Meghan philosophy. Join my email list, because that way all the things that I'm telling you about will show up in your email box. The invite for the event, live and in person, is going out to everyone today. If you're on my email list, you'll get it. Go to crystalevanshurst.com, and right underneath my picture, there is a space for you to put your name and your email, so that way you won't miss out on any of the announcements. Okay? So join the inner circle. This is a great time, and 2023 is your year. Get the planner if you need a planner, or if you want to have the tool that we are using to go through your next 90 days in January. 3, mark your calendar for January the 6th and January the 7th. I would love to see you in person. If you want to come in town, you're more than welcome. If you're an inner circle member, please do, because I'd love to see you and hug you in the flesh. And then if you can't join us in person, but you want to watch live online, then grab your ticket. If you know you can't make it that weekend because Bobby Sue is getting married and you got to be the best woman in her wedding, that's fine. But then you just want to make sure you're in the inner circle so you can watch the replay, because that's where it will be available. Okay? All right. You want to hear it? Here it go. If you haven't yet shared that I'm live, share, because here we go. Yep, I talked about the event January the 6th and the 7th. I talked about in-person, online. I talked about the coaching session that is available Friday during the day from 10 to 3 for those who want to map out their vision and their goals for 2023. You can join me early. I've talked about the meet and greet. I've talked about the inner circle. I've talked about grief, and we're dropping Luke every day, and annual memberships. The money focus. Did I say that out loud? We'll be talking about money in our first 90 days while we talk about our goals. I think I did all the things. There's always announcements. announcements. Shh. Okay. Oh yeah. Inner circle girls. If you're here and in the room, drop your circle. If you're here and in the room, drop your circle. And last week, y'all, I didn't go live everywhere because, dang it, it's 7:36. I didn't go live everywhere because I messed up. So if you missed last week's, you could just go back and watch it. Okay. Here's what my philosophy is about Harry and Meghan. Regardless of what you think about Harry and Meghan, here's what I know to be true. Are you ready to hear it? Here it go. One or both of them are as strategic as it gets. You can't be no more strategic than that. As it goes, when you look at maximizing an opportunity, when you look at maximizing the potential, when you look at squeezing blood out of a turnip, when you look at, hey, you know what? If we've been given one dime, we're going to make two. If you look at the story of the talents and what you're left with and what you multiply, if you look at, let me maximize every single opportunity that comes my way, leverage every relationship, do all the things that I need to do to make sure that what I can get out of this scenario, I get. They got that on lock. Let me tell you what you cannot fault them for. You cannot fault them at all for missing out on the opportunity to maximize their income, maximize their influence, maximize their media, maximize their reach, and maximize their story. I mean, listen, strategy. So it was a great documentary. That's what I'm seeing here on Netflix. What you should do is watch it on Netflix with friends. You know how you can like share movies as you do with people who are also on Netflix, and you should make it like a popcorn night. Listen, let me tell you why this matters. Because we all have to do the same thing. Now listen, I got to hit this thing and quit it really quickly because it is 7:38 and we are leaving here to go to our private party. Inner Circle members, don't leave until I'm gone, because it might not be 7:45, it might be 7:47. Don't leave until I'm gone. But when I leave, I'll join you on the inside, okay? Because I still got to give the Inner Circle their extra. Thanks, Melanie. That is correct, Vivian. You're getting the lesson. I got chills. I think that's the lesson for today. I think it is a good lesson. What if we all maximized our gifts to spread the word? Okay, here we go. Let me straighten up and fly right. Thank you, Inner Circle, for answering the questions I can't keep up with. Okay, I'm going to stop paying attention to the chat. Straightening up and flying right. Taking a sip. And I'm going to be very convicted this morning, but I'm going to say it real quick. I even had some pictures to share with y'all. This is so sad. Okay, I'll share them on the inside because I don't have time. It's 7:39. Okay. Just in case we chop this up later. Do you ever feel like you are spinning and running in circles, doing the most, but accomplishing the least? Well, you're not the only one. Let's talk about it today. Hi, my name is Crystal Evans Hurst, and I hope you're here watching me somewhere online. You got to be somewhere online because that's the only way you could see it, on YouTube, on Facebook, or maybe you're watching on Instagram. I don't know, but I'm glad you're here. Here's what I would like to tell you this morning. You will, and I don't have a lot of time, so I'm about to jump in and maximize this moment. You will run in circles without intentionality. You will run in circles without focus. You will run in circles if you don't identify what it is that you're trying to achieve and put your energy toward it. And if you don't walk with intention, if you don't choose to focus with intention on what you want to achieve or accomplish in your life, you will waste time. Last time I was here, I talked about what it looks like to create a vision for your life, for you to imagine what you want out of life, to have a picture of who you hope to be. I presented some questions to you so that you could start to think about your life. One of the reasons why I even created a planner is because what I realized is people would tell me, I don't know what the questions are to ask. And so the planner that I've created, and you can find out more about it, I'll throw it up here. I didn't mean to even say it, but since I said it, I'm going to throw it up here. The planner that I created is because it's not just plan your week and here are some dates and here's some space to write. Every week, I give you a question to reflect on your life. Every month, I give you an extra question to reflect on your life, because what I've realized is most people don't know what the questions are. They struggle with the questions. That's okay. That's all right. I'm here to help you out. But once you ask yourself the right questions, and once you think about what the vision is for your life, when you get to the end of your life and you look back and you say, what will people say about me when I'm gone? What is the legacy that I hope I leave when I'm gone? What is the thing that I'm going to be proud of when I no longer am able to engage in my life because of age or because of illness or what have you? What will I have spent my time doing? What do I leave that's going to last? When you think about that vision for you, your life, and you create it, let me tell you what will happen. Nothing. Nothing will happen if you have a vision and don't have a plan to reach it. The way you have a plan to reach the vision for your life is to backwards engineer your vision into goals. Goals, a plan, to have a plan of action, to decide between here and the end of your life what you're going to achieve, what the milestones are. I talk about this in a course I've just created, and y'all, if you already paid for it, you're getting it this week. Thank you for your patience. We had some production interruptions. It's coming. And I go into depth about this in that course because so many of us, I realize, don't know how to do it. That's okay. It's okay. What I want to tell you today is the importance of setting goals. And, you can read a million books about goal setting. So I'm not going to go deep in how to set them. If you want to go deep on that, there's other content I've created to help you. Here's what I want to tell you. Your goals, the intermediary steps between who you are now and who you want to be, the legacy you want to leave, the big stones that are in the river that you have to step on to get across. Okay. These are the big things that you're going to do in your life that are going to propel you forward. Let me tell you about these goals. They don't happen if you don't identify them. They don't happen if you don't check in on them. And they don't happen if you don't make room for them. They just don't. Let me talk specifically about making room for them. This morning, when I started the live, and let me just remind you, if you're here and you're in the circle, I'm supposed to jump into the private party with you at 7:45. Let me finish and then let's jump ship together. Okay. This morning, I went in my coffee cabinet and got a mug. Okay. When I got the mug out, one mug tilted, so I straightened it up and closed the cabinet door. I came to start this live and then went back over there to get my tea. While I was getting my tea, pouring the water into my first cup of tea this morning, I had my back turned to the coffee cabinet. And all of a sudden, I heard something fall, topple to the ground, and break. I walked over there and sure enough, it was a coffee mug. Do you want to know why that coffee mug fell? Because there's too much stuff in the cabinet. And even though I had fixed it and I had adjusted it and I had set it correct, even though I noticed that things were out of balance and a little too full, because there simply wasn't enough room, it fell out and it broke. A friend told me last night, Crystal, there are some things you need to clean up in your life because if you don't, you're going to break. Eventually, life will not hold everything. And if you keep stuffing things in the cabinet, something's going to break because it can't all fit in there. Let me tell you what will happen even if it all fits in there. There will be coffee mugs in the back I never use. There will always be stress and high fear that things are not going to stay the way I put them. I'm always going to be frustrated because I can't find what I need because I didn't make room. Half of the battle in goals is not setting them. More than half of the battle of your goals is not setting them. That is important. Yes, set the goals, get the planners, take the courses, do all the things. The problem, the thing that's going to get most of us, y'all, for setting our goals is not identifying what we need to do to make room for them. You have to make room. Because what will grow in your life is what you make the time to put your time and attention and energy on. If you take plants and put them in a garden and you put them too close together, their roots will crowd each other out and none of them will flourish. In order for your garden to flourish, every plant needs space. People who garden know this. Even if you toss seed, after they start growing, you go and you pull out the ones that aren't flourishing the most because you want to make room for the things you want to flourish. This is so hard to do because this is not what our world tells us. Our world tells us do more, achieve more, go faster, live harder, be envious of what other people are doing. If that doesn't crowd you out, if your own stuff doesn't crowd you out, everybody else's stuff will crowd you out. So I'll say this and then I'll jump off. I don't think that goal setting is magical, y'all. I think that literally you could pick anything. And like there are gurus who will tell you your goals need to be this. And I believe in goals being smart, all that. I believe in that. But I think if you just simply choose the next right thing, you don't even have to know what the big goal is. And a lot of us get stuck on that. We don't have the vision, so we don't do anything. If you just choose the next right thing and focus on it, if you will call the weeds, call the extra stuff, make space and focus on it, you will get further faster. So I was talking to someone this weekend, and we were talking about how I ran a marathon. And I said, I don't know if I would ever do that again. A half? Yes, I'll run a half. But a full, it's not the marathon that's the problem. It's the training that's the problem. And it's the level of time and attention that you have to give to training. On Saturdays, running 20, 18, 22 miles, which means I was running for hours and hours and hours. And then I would come back home and my body would be jacked. And so then I can't do anything because I just ran 20 miles. And so my whole weekends were full, even though my run may have only taken me 5 hours. But I did that because I was focusing on running a race. So everything in my life had to get placed around, dance around, had to get crafted around my scheduled runs, my training runs. I ran the marathon, but it took such a high degree of focus for a period in my life. I'm not the fastest runner. I barely made it through the finish line. There were only a few people left when I crossed it. But you want to know why I was able to finish? Because I made room for the training. You know what's going to enable you to live out your vision? You have to make room for your steps, make room for your plan, make room for your goals, make room for the energy for what it takes to do it. If you don't, things will start falling out of the cabinet. If you don't, you'll arrive at race day and not be ready. In order for you to actually live out your vision, in order for you to actually make progress on your goals, you have to check in on them. How am I doing? But more importantly, you have to make room for them. And not just to stuff them in, but to give them room to breathe. This is something I am working on. I do not have it down. I am trying to right now figure out how I can gracefully exit some commitments or some of the ways I handle those commitments. Because we're girls and we show up and we take care of everybody and everything, don't we? Time is up, y'all. Time is up. It's up. So if you have not been making room for your goals and every year you set the same goals, you set the same vision, you set the same resolution, maybe this year you ought to try cutting something out. Cutting someone out. Cutting some commitments out, and then seeing if you were the problem, were your goals the problem, or was it about your focus, your energy, and your time? The world is littered with resolutions because we actually didn't make room for the things we added. And so we failed. But the reality is, it's not that we failed to do the thing. We just failed to make room for the thing. My challenge to you today is, yes, set goals. Get whatever planner you want and write the mess down. Hopefully y'all know that writing things down matters. But if you don't make room for the thing you wrote down that you wanted to do, or the person that you wrote down that you wanted to be, or the goals that you had that you wanted to accomplish, you won't do it. And next year, going into 2024, you'll be saying the same thing. If Meghan and Harry can be strategic and in a series of very unfortunate events, still make a living, stay in the public eye, still make sure they're getting their books written, they're getting their Netflix series launched, if they're able to live large, hobnob, and do all the things in the face of unexpected circumstances, let me tell you why that is. Because both of them, together or one influencing the other more, who knows, have a vision for their life. And no matter what twists and turns life brings, and no matter what goals they have to set or reset, they're going to keep making room to bring their best to this game called life. And what are we all doing? Watching. Maybe you ought to make less time to watch what Harry and Meghan are doing and make more room to watch your own life. And maybe what you put your time and energy and focus on will grow. I'll see y'all next Monday. Would love to see you in the inner circle. And inner circle, it's time. I'm going to shut this down and I'll meet you over there. It's time for our private party. See y'all next Monday.